and welcome into Getting Help from Uncle Sam. If you've been looking at the news for about the past 5 or 6 months, you know that in Montgomery County specifically, we do have somewhat of a problem with the school system here. And in fact, State Superintendent Ed Richardson has kind of taken over the system, and it's financial and it's great. There's a whole myriad of things that have been a problem in that arena. So in the election that's coming up, you're going to have a chance to vote for some new school board members. Take it seriously. They have to know what they're doing. And our guest today is Ted Lowry. And Ted, you are a candidate for the school board. And you know, I grew up in a Catholic school in Chicago. And to this day, when I see a nun, I hold out my hand like that so she can beat it with the ruler.
Yeah.
There was nothing wrong with that. I needed it. And then if I went home and told my parents that she did it, the beating was even worse. The problem we have, I think right now, one of the major things I think is discipline is a big problem.
Yeah, I never got a paddling in school because I knew the second one would be worse when I got home.
Absolutely.
And I went to public schools in Columbus, Mississippi.
I'm the only good person. I never got called into the principal's office
ever. Oh my gosh.
Well, I never did either.
Hey,
but
I had a name on a seat in there actually.
Guys, the point is, we need some discipline.
Yes, indeed.
We do need discipline, and discipline is just one aspect of it. We need standards for everything we do in school.
Yes.
And we need to be able to enforce those standards. I've learned over the course of my short life that if you establish very high standards and you hold people to those standards and expect them to meet them, they may not meet the real top of the standards, but they're going to get very, very close.
That's right. They've got a direction.
But if you set low standards, I promise we will always fail to achieve them. Mm-hmm. And so what we need to do, and what I believe our school board needs to do, is establish standards, hold the school administrators, the superintendent and the principals accountable to do that. We need a superintendent who will come in with very high standards, who maybe we need to hire a junkyard dog kind of guy to do that. And then that superintendent needs to bring in principals who will enforce those standards and motivate and empower their teachers to bring children along. I spent some time in 2016 doing speaking in various schools, from elementary schools to middle schools to the high schools. I was at Lamp, I was at Jefferson Davis, and what I saw were children who pay attention when somebody comes in and gives them a message of hope, and that's what I did. Mm-hmm. And I believe that every parent wants their children to achieve. Yes. I am not one of these people who believes that parents don't care, because they do. They do. And they want their children to do better, but there's a sense of hopelessness sometimes in the community, and what the school board needs to do, what the school administrators need to do, is convey a message that your child can do well. And it's not where you start out that matters. It's not whether you're rich or poor that matters. Mm-hmm. It's whether you have the desire and the will to do well. And we have adults who are willing to nurture that desire and bring children to a level of success that they've never imagined they could do. And I know that's possible, because that's how I started out.
Sure.
And so I know that we can do that, and I believe that we can. Mm-hmm. And the school board has to set that foundation. We've got to have sound fiscal management. We need a budget, for crying out loud.
Yes, indeed.
And we need to
a realistic budget.
We need to understand what our revenue is, and then we need to establish the priorities that say, these are the things I'm going to spend money on that are going to contribute to that sense of hopefulness and that sense of achievement that children need to have. And we can get there. A little girl came up to me at the zoo one day and said, "You talked at my school." And I said, "Which one was it?" And she told me, and I said, "Yes, I did. What, do you remember what I said?" And she said, "Yes, sir. You told me that I could do whatever I wanted to do, no matter what, if I'm willing to work hard enough." Mm-hmm. And I said, "Yeah, that's exactly right. I don't know how many children I spoke to. I'm guessing 2,000 over the course of that year. But when one child gets that message,
No.
every
Multiply
minute
it.
that I spent
Yeah.
doing there was successful. And I know that when one gets it, a lot of them do. And so I know that if we quit talking about all of the negatives and we start working to give kids hope, we're going to have a school system that we can be proud of.
That's good. If one of our viewers wants to get a hold of you,
I've got a website.
okay,
It's LowryForSchoolBoard.com.
and it's Lowry.
Lowry,
Right.
no E.
No E. Okay.
And then you can call me at 334
Okay.
245 3430.
Good.
And that rings through to my cell phone. I answer phone calls and I return phone calls.
Good. Well, I want to
Love that.
applaud you for
Amen.
making this step, because education is the foundation for everything we do, and give it all.
If I could say one more thing.
Yes.
Our school system is the key to a growing and prosperous Montgomery.
Yes.
Without that, we won't be there.
No.
You are right.
We're going in the wrong direction.
I appreciate you
Good.
having me.
Thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
just remember
Thank you
this.
for running.
The election's
you.
right around the corner. Do a little bit of your homework, but this is a very important position. Give it your thoughts, and we'll be right back right after this.